I remember when President Obama said that the healthcare website was fixed.
I don't think anybody anticipated the degree of problems that you'd had on healthcare.gov. The good news is that right away we decided how are we going to fix it. It got fixed within a month and a half. It was up and running, and now it's working the way it's supposed to, and we've signed up 3 million people.
Well, it was this claim, that O'Reilly interview, that had one supporter of Obamacare turning his back on the president.
And joining us to explain is the CEO of the largest healthcare insurance site in the country, Gary Lauer of eHealth. Good morning to you, Gary.
Good morning. Thank you.
Is it fixed, Gary?
Is it fixed? No, it's not fixed. And by the way, healthcare.gov is just in a number of states. You've got other states that have set up their own exchanges. Go to Maryland or Oregon and try to get on the exchange there and see what it's like to get through that process. Well, that's one way to describe it. It's a mess and then some.
You were watching the president in that interview on Super Bowl Sunday. And
I was.
You were a longtime supporter of Obamacare from day one. What, during that interview with O'Reilly, made you switch?
Well, I'm still a supporter. I'd like to see this work. In fact, I'm a cancer survivor, so I'm a beneficiary of this. Before this, I wasn't coverable. I couldn't get health insurance. Couldn't even get it through my own company. But what I really reject is this notion that it's fixed and that it's all working. It's not. I mean, we hear things about the back end not working, where people who go through healthcare.gov can't get their insurance through the insurance company because it's not connected properly. Many of these states, it's not working well, but they'll get some of that fixed. But consumers need and want choices. And so you may want to go to healthcare.gov, you may want to go to the Oregon Exchange, but you should be able to go to a place like eHealth as well.
Americans want truth. They certainly want to be able to get through and get covered. But they also, this website needs a lot of help. Did you offer help to the administration, Kathleen Sebelius?
Well, interestingly, we actually ran this website for a year when the legislation was first passed. It was an information website. Okay. And then they selected someone else to actually do what's called the production site, where people can buy. And it hasn't worked real well. But that aside, yeah, we've made some offers. But at this point, our business is one where we just interact with consumers. We're like the Amazon.com of health insurance. It's a good way to think about us. And what I really want is for lower income subsidy eligible consumers to be able to use us just the way that they do the government site. Today, people who aren't subsidy eligible can use us or the government site. But if you're subsidy eligible, you're relegated only to the government site. It's much like if you're low income, you can only ship a package through the Postal Service. If you're higher income, you could use FedEx, UPS, or the government site. You have choices.
So you never saw the government as a competitor because you don't accept subsidies. So you were willing to help to make the healthcare system work in this country. And now you're looking at it and you're saying, I can no longer support this plan.
Well, I want this to work. I can't support the implementation at this part, especially in many of the states who won't allow a company like ours, their residents, to use us to get their subsidies. It just doesn't make sense.
But, Gary, beyond just the website structure, the critics have said, forget the website. Those will get up and running soon enough, and all of these technical glitches will be worked out eventually, Oregon, Maryland, etc. It's the structure of Obamacare itself that's the failure. It's trying to rely on young people to get these plans. You see all these advertisements rolling out, getting Adam Levine to try to sway young people to use it. Isn't the structure of Obamacare what's the problem?
Well, you make a great point. In fact, the 3 million people that the president referenced who have been enrolled so far, if you take a look at those numbers, something in the low 20s in terms of percentages are between 18 and 34 years of age. You need a lot more than that. At my company, for example, close to half the individuals who come to us are between that age group because they're used to doing this online. They want to do it in their hands with a phone or with a tablet and so on. If we don't get these young people enrolled, what's going to happen is it's going to get mitigated by prices. Prices will keep going up and up and up, and this stuff becomes prohibitively expensive, and that's where the legislation really, really stumbles or fails.
Now, one of the companies brought in, that you were not brought in, is Accenture. They were going to take over and they're going to fix things. There's no indication that they've done anything positive, is there?
I don't know the answer to that. I'm not that close to it. We're trying to connect to healthcare.gov right now to help people get subsidies. It's been really slow going, really slow
The White House's reaction to you leaving? Or you leaving their side?
I haven't heard anything from the White House. I still want this legislation to work. I just don't support this notion that it's fixed, because it's not. There's a lot of work that's got to be done for this to have a chance of working.
And certainly someone who knows when it works and when it doesn't as a CEO. Of your company, you know the ins and outs of how websites should work when it comes to policy and insurance.
E-commerce is not easy.
Yeah. No, it's not when you're trying to connect to 50 databases, too. Gary Lauer, great to see you this morning.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you so much.